welcome to our Feed the Pack food demonstration video. My name is Sami and Nicholas.
My name's Nico Yarzan.
So we're here from the Feed the Pack food pantry that's located here at NC State. It's next to the Honors and Scholars Village on Dunn Avenue. Nick, tell us a little bit about Feed the Pack.
Yeah, Feed the Pack is a food pantry located here on campus that's available to students, staff, faculty, anyone who needs the hygiene products or foods that they are not financially capable of providing for themselves, 3 meals a day, or any hygiene products that you may need. And today we're going to be making some chickpea stew as we have here in front of us.
That's right, we're making some chickpea stew for our second demonstration. This was inspired from a Moroccan chickpea stew recipe, but we have made some changes here on our own. For our vegetables, we have some diced potatoes, we have some crushed tomatoes, we have some beans. We have both kidney beans and black beans, as well as garbanzo beans, and I've also chopped up some onion here. Then we have some lemon to top off at the end, and I've minced up some fresh garlic here. Feel free to use fresh garlic or the powdered garlic. Both of them work just fine. And for these ingredients, we will be providing them at the food pantry for students who are facing financial insecurity and feel like they can't get the ingredients on their own. But if you have the ability to get the ingredients on your own, feel free to watch this video and follow along as you make this recipe.
Also, if you're financially capable of donating to Feed the Pack, we do accept donations. Feel free to look at our website, and we'll be able to, you'll be able to see what donations we do need currently at the pantry.
That's right. And although we're using these specific ingredients here, feel free to make any changes that you wish. You can really add any type of vegetable to this recipe, any kinds of spices. We personally felt like these would fit well together. But as you go around the pantry or shop for yourself elsewhere, feel free to pick out any other vegetables that you see well fit.
Yeah.
So Nick, what spices do we have here?
So right now we have here, if you could pass me some of those vegetables, we're going to start off with this. I'm going to be talking as we kind of go. Y'all should be able to see what we've got available. So I'm adding in a lot of potatoes. This is something that we just kind of saw in the pantry. And we're like, you know what, that would be really good. You know, you could add any hearty vegetables that you would want. So what I did is I added some oil, a tablespoon of oil to the bottom of the pot. We're having it on medium heat right now. Added some potatoes. Now we're adding some onions. And we're going to keep this stirring. You're going to be stirring this for around 5 minutes at that medium heat. And while you're doing this, you're going to be adding some of those spices. And as Sami mentioned, these spices are Moroccan inspired. We did use whatever we had available at the pantry. We do have some cinnamon, some paprika, we have some cumin, and we have some ginger. So we're using those spices inspired from a more Moroccan spice blend, but we are using what we do have available within our food pantry. So feel free to make those substitutes. This is a recipe that you can make for yourself. Let's say you don't like some of the vegetable choices that we have. Feel free to substitute whatever you think would sound good. So as we're stirring in here, we're going to mix in some of our spices that we have here. I just put in some cinnamon, putting in some paprika. Now I got some cumin. Thank you, Sami. And we got some ginger. And then we have some minced garlic. Now we're adding in as well. This is going to make it really whole. The spices are so necessary for this recipe. You could already start smelling it. How do you?
Oh, it smells great.
Yeah.
And the reason why we put the onion and the potatoes in first, because they're kind of hearty and it takes longer for them to cook down. So we're just getting started with them as well as the oil to have them soften down and cook down more. And we're going to add these towards the end because they're already ready to eat, and it's really just about heating them up and letting them mix in with the other ingredients.
So if you want some signs to kind of see, like, is it ready? Like, what do I add next? You're going to be starting to look at your potatoes. You're going to start looking at your onions. Your onions should start getting to like a more transparent type of look. So we're still not there yet, and your potatoes should get a little bit more soft. You know, you start off with that hard, but now you're seeing them kind of brown, you know, from the original white that we had. But we're just going to keep stirring. Like I said, it takes around 5 minutes, so feel free to just keep stirring around. And we should be on our way. So what we have here is, as you can see, we have a lot of colors from our recipe. Like my good friend Lauren always says, the nutritional value is pretty easy to base off of how much color you have in your meal. The more color, the better. I'm not saying just eat a whole bag of Fruit Loops, but
That's right.
definitely there are so many great options that you could have for a nice, nutritious meal. And
It really is very nutritious, Nick. I mean, just looking at these colors,
Yeah.
definitely in the beans, there's a lot of nutrients. Definitely a lot of protein in those beans. You won't be missing out on any protein. We got protein right here too, and of course the tomato has a lot of fiber.
we got
Can't forget about the potato and the onions. It's already
starch,
in there too.
fiber. We're having a lot over
That's
here.
right.
So, your digestive tract is gonna thank you. That's
Oh
what
yes,
I'm
it will. Even the olive oil is a good addition, you know.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
all a part of the food pyramid.
Yes.
Food is necessary. Don't demonize food, people.
And you can really add whatever you want to this too. Like if you want some protein, like it's chicken or meat, any kind of meat, maybe tofu, and as we said, any other kinds of vegetables.
You could add this on top of rice even. So really, like whatever you'd like to add. This is really a recipe for the people, and it's really good.
That's right. Let me give you a hand, Nick.
Yeah,
Sir.
here. Take on. We should be coming up on our time where we're able to add some of our water pretty soon. As you can see, Sammy's giving a nice stir in there. Those vegetables are cooking nice and good. We're making sure that they're not charred yet. Before we start adding in our water, our diced tomatoes with the juice. A lot of our beans, we rinsed out the original water that it was held in. So we rinse them out, clean those up. But we do keep the tomatoes within the original liquid it was in. So that is looking pretty good, Sammy. I think we should be good to add some of our water here. Let me just...
Because even though they're not fully cooked yet, they're still going to stay on here for a while. So
Yeah.
you got to keep that in mind too. We don't have to cook them all the way, just in the beginning.
So we're going to be adding some water, the diced tomatoes. It's going to be making our broth nice and good. And now I think we should be good to add our
Here's
beans
a better
too.
look at what that
Look
looks
at that.
like right now. See all the colors in there already?
Yeah. And then what we should be able to do from here is bring our water to a boil. So that's going to be
Yes.
making our one little bean in there.
Yeah.
Making our stew.
It's looking really good, Nick. Look at
Yeah.
all those colors.
Oh wow.
Oh, yes.
Look at that, y'all.
So at this point, you don't have to keep stirring. You can kind of just let it sit there and cook up. Because in the beginning, maybe we're worried about it burning a little bit because there's no liquid. But since it's now all submerged, as Nick said, we're just waiting for it to heat up and maybe start boiling a little bit.
So around the time where you see the water begin to boil, you should be able to start to top it off with the pot lid right there. Let it boil for a little bit. And you could add some more water if you want. Looks like we should need a little bit more water here, but that's okay. Make sure that you're just paying attention to your recipe. It all depends on what you're adding, how much you have space in your pot, you know, and that should be good, you know? So we're gonna be watching out here. Hopefully we're coming to a boil soon.
And if you prefer it to be thicker than not really that much thick, you can always add some more tomato paste to make it more chunky and more thick.
Yeah.
If you like it to be thinner, you can add more water and less tomato paste. It's really a personal preference, as we said.
I'm starting to see a little sizzle there. So
So we're just gonna give it some time to cook up, and we'll keep checking in on it. All right, Nick, we're back here. So it's been about, what would you say, 15 minutes?
I'm not that great at time, so I would agree with you.
Around 15 minutes. So you just want to keep an eye on it. It's cooked down pretty well. It's been boiling for some time as well. We've kind of just been looking at the potatoes to make sure that they've softened up enough. When that happens, it should be pretty ready. We've also added a few more, some more spices, so you can just taste it and see how you like the taste.
And y'all should really just trust your instincts. Be able to really choose what you feel you need a little bit more of. During the time that we had outside of our, just waiting for it to boil, we added some of the spices that Sammy's just said. We added a little bit more water. We wanted to make sure everything was cooked nice and well. If you find, let's say if you're using potatoes, if you're seeing them a little too hard, forks aren't like going through them, make sure that you're keeping them in the boil. That's gonna soften them up a lot. We have Sami adding some pepper. We're gonna add some salt here. This should really bring all the flavors back together. And just make sure that you are able to make this recipe your own. I know I am a very novice cook, but you know, it's really just figuring out what you like, you know? And we're gonna add, finally, we're gonna add some lemons to really make this tied all together. We're gonna stir a little bit. And once we are done, we're gonna make it into our little shiny little bowls that we have there.
Right. So as you could see here, everything's cooked down pretty well. The onions are now softer, as Nick mentioned earlier. They're kind of transparent. The potatoes are much softer. If you try to like break it with a spoon, it breaks pretty easily. So it should be done at this point. We can go ahead and turn the oven off. And Nick, you think we should give this a try real quick?
I'm ready to give it a little taste, you know? Make sure it's you're not burning yourself. That's for you.
All right. Put some here.
If you could pour me some, that'd be nice. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
And it is very hot.
So yeah, so please be careful. I'm going to give a little blow.
So I'm going to let this cool down.
That's great. Look at that. I'm going to show you all a little bit of an up-close look. I have a little sample right here. Look at that. All the beans, really vegetables, potatoes, onions, garlic, all really comes up into this nice stew.
Here's a closer look at what it actually looks like. So as you can see, a lot of colors. Definitely really good.
Add some protein if you'd like. As Sami said earlier, add whatever you would like to make sure you are able to get a nice stew of your own.
Right, and as you wait for it to cook down, which was around 15-20 minutes for us, feel free to clean up your area, put stuff away, and really be efficient with your time. That's about it for today. Be sure to come by the pantry to pick up the recipe bag if you feel like you need it. Otherwise, enjoy this video and cook this whatever you'd like.
We'd like to thank University Dining. We'd like to thank Carmichael's Gym here for letting us use this little training kitchen that we have here for our cooking demos. And thank you all for watching. We appreciate it.
Stay on the lookout for future food demonstration videos. Check out our older video. And as always, go pack.
Go pack.
Thank you guys for watching.
See y'all.
Take care.